stream. I believe we are officially live. Let's try to get it pulled up on my end over here. Get those comments pulled up. Come on, come on. I don't even know what time it is. What time is it, stream? 1 p.m. for me. Okay, okay. Good time, good time. There we go. We are officially live. What is up, everybody? Wonder Bro here with Vacate Fear. And today we are going to be talking about energy. The energy behind thoughts, the energy behind feelings. We are going to be talking about how this all comes back to what you are giving your energy to, or rather, what you are adding energy to, right? That is what we're going to be talking about today. It is going to be a good one. What is up, chat? Hi, hello, welcome to the stream. Wonder Bro, what's up, Sanchez? My dude, you are here early. You are on the ball. What is up, man? This is going to be a good one, chat. This is going to be a good one. We talk about the two main keys all the time here on the channel. We talk about not fueling your negative thoughts. We talk about not adding horror stories to your feelings. We talk about all these different things so that we can give your nerves a break. Well, today we're going to break it down even more. That's what we love to do here on the channel. We're going to break it down even more and talk about how it really comes down to what you are adding, okay? What you are adding energy to. Title of the stream: you have to stop giving energy to thoughts and feelings. So we're going to talk about that today. Made it today. You are on time, dude. Wonderlust, hey bro, what is up? Yesterday I ended the stream right as you sent your tip, and if you noticed, I made an entire like 40-second stream just to thank you. Okay, I couldn't let it go. I tried, I couldn't let it go. Hi all, hello, 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 welcome. Sweet Life, Jonah, welcome. Victoria, welcome. Let's drop that Discord link in chat. I'm usually watching your pre-recorded videos, so you finally made it to a live. Awesome. Welcome, welcome. Happy to hear from you. Got the comments rolling in. Don't feed the beast. Ever since you said that, Jesse, you have loved that, haven't you? But it's true. It's very, very true. What is up, Olivia? I did see that, and thank you. Yeah, I tried to let it go. I was like, I'll get her next time, but then I just couldn't. I was like, no, no, I've got to thank her for that. What's up, average gamer? You are right on time. You are right on time. Sit back, give me your ear for a second. We're going to get going with the main point of the stream in just a minute. We're going to get going with the main point of the stream in just a minute. All right, and it's going to cover everything that you're feeling, so don't worry about it. All right, guys, we'll give it a few more minutes before we get going here. The Discord link is posted up in the comments right there. It's a few comments up. Feel free to join us over there, especially if you're missing the live streams, because I always try to remember to notify my Discord every single time before I go live. So if you're missing those YouTube notifications, if you want to start making it in here on time, joining the Discord is the way to go. You don't even have to join the chat over there if you don't want to. Don't feed the beast, you just got to leave it alone. So today, we are going to be talking about how you have to stop giving energy to thoughts and feelings. And you know what? Let's go ahead and get going because we've already got a full chat. So let's go ahead and jump right in this. Save your questions for after the stream, and I will get to them. All right, guys. Main point of today's stream: you have to stop giving energy to thoughts and feelings. So what is a thought and what is a feeling? They typically go hand in hand. Thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to thoughts. It's a cycle, back and forth, vice versa. What is a thought and what is a feeling? A thought and feeling, at its core, at its very core, at its very basics, fundamentals, is energy, right? So if I'm sitting here now and I have a negative thought come to me, that is energy. That is energy. If I have a feeling that follows that negative thought, which if you're sensitized, you probably will, that is energy too. How does recovery start to take place? Recovery starts to take place when you stop adding and fueling these thoughts and feelings with energy. In order for energy to thrive and stay alive, it must be fueled. in some way or another. It must be fueled in some way or another. In order for this energy to continue to grow, right, and thrive and grow and grow and grow, it has to be getting energy from somewhere, or else it starts to die out. It starts to go out, right? So where do you think these thoughts and feelings are getting their energy from? Where do you think these thoughts and feelings are getting their energy from? They got to be getting energy from somewhere. They're getting that energy from you. So you're probably wondering, how am I giving energy to my thoughts and feelings? I don't want to feel them. I don't like them at all. There's no way I'm giving energy to them. You are by not wanting to feel them. You are by fighting with them mentally. You are by getting involved with them mentally. Every time you have a negative thought and you try to argue with it so that it'll leave you alone, you are just giving it energy. Every time you have a negative thought and you try to introduce your logic, you are just giving it energy. Every time you have a negative thought and you get up there and you start to fight with it and you go back and forth with it and you agree with it or disagree with it or try to say this or try to say that or try to work it out in one way or another, you are giving it energy, right? You have to understand this, chat. Every time you get up there in the mind with these thoughts, whatever it is that you're trying to do with them. I don't know what it is that you personally try to do with your negative thoughts, but whatever it is that you're trying to do with them, you are giving them energy. Rest assured, you are giving them energy. Whatever it is that you're trying to do with them, you are giving them energy. And that's why they continue to come back so strong. That's why they are now wired in your brain. That's why they have so much momentum behind them, right? So with recovery, with anxiety recovery, we stop giving energy to these thoughts by fighting with them. We stop giving energy to these feelings by fighting with them. There is no longer a free passing out of our energy. And this can be your little reminder moving forward if you like that. If you like the way that sounds, take that with you and start to use that every single day, a million times a day if you have to. When you notice the temptation to fight with your thoughts, you can simply remind yourself, I'm not going to energize that. You can let the thought be there. You're not trying to push the thought out. You're not trying to deny it. You're not trying to say, oh God, don't think that, don't think that. You're simply reminding yourself when the temptation to get involved is there, when you notice that temptation, because if you're sensitized, you've been getting involved for a long, 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 long time. All right. So when you notice that that temptation is there, you have to take that step back and remind yourself, I'm not going to energize that, right? You have to notice when that temptation to get involved in there is, and take that step back and remind yourself, I'm not going to energize that. Now, some people think, well, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work to have to do that. Well, do you want to remain sensitized? Do you want to continue down this path that you're on? Of course you don't. So you might have to put in a little bit of legwork, and that's okay. That's okay. So the thing is, guys, you can continue arguing and fighting with these thoughts and fueling these thoughts all that you want to, but you see how far it's getting you. You are giving your energy out. You are putting energy into these thoughts. You are putting energy into these feelings by mentally saying, I'm going to fight this. I don't want to feel this way. This is horrible. How do I make it stop? You are just adding energy on top of energy on top of energy. You are, as Jesse would say, feeding the beast. You are fueling this machine, right? You are the fuel, you are the gas, you are the reason these thoughts and feelings to continue to gain momentum. You are the reason these thoughts and feelings continue to gain momentum. Every time you have a feeling and you tell yourself, I don't want to feel this way, please make it stop, you are essentially pouring gas on the fire. You are giving out your energy. And you are in turn energizing these thoughts and feelings. Every time you have a negative thought and you say, well, that's not right because of this and that's not right because of this, and I'm going to fight you to the very end, tooth and nail, you are giving your energy out. You are energizing these thoughts and making them stronger, 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 right? And one of my favorite spiritual guides, Moji, he says, do not get into a street fight with your mind. If we've talked about this for the past few days, getting into a street fight with your mind is a fight that you're not going to win. If you want these thoughts to burn themselves out, which sometimes takes time, and that's okay, of course it's going to take time. You've wired your brain to be this way for so long, then you have to stop participating in this fight. And what he means by that is the same thing that I'm trying to tell you today. You have to stop energizing these thoughts. And if you need a reminder, okay, if you're very tempted to do this, because you probably will be tempted to do this, this is the life you're used to living right now. If you need that reminder, that is fine. Take that step back and remind yourself, I'm not going to energize that. right? When that temptation is there to get involved in thought, you can have your reminder. Don't feel guilty about that. And you might need that reminder quite a bit at first. I'm not going to energize that. It's so tempting, guys, and I know it is. I've been there. I know how tempting. You've got that thought. It's starting to make you feel a little bit anxious or a lot anxious, and it's so tempting to get in there and try to solve it and do something about it in order to experience relief. But all you are doing is falling for the trap. You are staying stuck in the cycle because you are handing out your energy and you are fueling these thoughts, and it's a never-ending cycle at that point. It is a never-ending cycle. Day in and day out, you wake up, you give out your energy to these thoughts and feelings. You wake up, you give out your energy to these thoughts and feelings. You wake up, you give out your energy to these thoughts and feelings, and you're a hamster in a hamster wheel. Day in and day out, you continue to give out your energy. You continue to stay stressed, therefore, you continue to stay sensitized, right? In order to recover, you have got to stop handing out your energy. In order to recover, you have got to stop energizing these thoughts. And like I just said, I know how tempting it is, but you got to resist that temptation and use your reminder if need be every single time. I'm no longer energizing these thoughts. I'm just accepting them for what they are, but I'm no longer pouring my energy to them, right? I'm no longer pouring my energy into them, because the more you pour your energy into these thoughts, the more stressed you're going to stay, right? You're going to stay stressed. You're going to stay stressed. You're going to stay stressed. You are giving out your energy, and these thoughts are growing. They're growing. They're growing. It's a never-ending battle. It's a fight that you're not going to win, and it is a very stressful fight. If you haven't already noticed, it is a very stressful fight. So if your mind is telling you, well, if I was to use a reminder and tell myself I'm not going to energize these thoughts every single day, man, I'd be doing that 100 times a day. Well, then so be it. Because what's the alternative? The alternative is that you continue to fight this fight and you're getting your ass kicked, right? You're getting your ass kicked. Let's be honest. You are trying to fight a fight that you're not winning, and you're never going to win this fight against the mind. The only way that you're going to get these thoughts to leave you alone is if you continue to remind yourself every time you're tempted to get involved in this street fight that you're no longer energizing these thoughts. And you may need to repeat that a few times, quite a few times, and that's fine. But you're not going to win that fight. I'm here to tell you, I hate to break it to you, you're not going to win that fight. How long have you been trying to win that fight? Years and years and years? I assume years and years and years. Will strap up, because you're going to continue to try to win that fight, and it's going to continue to take years and years and years. And guess what? You're never going to win it. All right, and that's just the harsh reality. So if you want to win this fight, you got to stop fighting in this fight. You got to stop fighting in this fight. You got to notice when thoughts come, you have a choice to say no to the temptation. You have a choice to say, I'm going to accept this thought for what it is. If it wants to be there, it can be there. I'm not trying to force it out, but I'm no longer participating. See, there's a big difference in trying to force a thought out and just no longer participating. What we want you to do is no longer participate. If you try to force the thought out, that's energy. That's giving energy to the thought, right? So what we want you to do is the option that a lot of people aren't even aware they have, which is to allow the thought to be there if it wants to be there, but simply remind themselves every single time they're tempted to get involved, I'm not energizing that. And you might need that reminder a lot. And I like to say that because it's true. You probably will need that reminder a lot. But what's the alternative? The alternative is continuing to fight in this fight that you're not going to win, right? You're not going to win. Believe me. Believe me. I almost burst there. Believe me. I tried to fight this fight for a long, long, long time. A long, 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 long time. Guess what? I never won. I never won. You know what did happen though? I stayed sensitized. And you know what? When I started to make my recovery, around the time where I started to feel better and I started to make true progress, you want to know what happened around that time? I stopped energizing these thoughts. I let them be there. I let them make me anxious if that's what they wanted to do, right? And if you're sensitized, they probably will. But I no longer gave out my energy. I no longer gave out my energy. If you continue to fight with these thoughts, you will continue to get your ass kicked, and that's just the end of the story. And you will try to fight this fight for years and years, and you're not going to win. You're not going to win. You haven't yet. What makes you think you're going to? You're not going to. The mind fight's dirty. You got to stop. You are energizing this thing, as Jesse calls feeding the beast, right? And if you want to recover, if you want to give your body a break, you have got to stop. You have got to remind yourself every time you're tempted to get involved with that thought. You know what? There's that temptation, but I'm no longer energizing that. I'm no longer giving my energy to that, because the more you do that, the more that grows. right? The more you do that, the more that grows. So I see it in the comments right now. People wake up day after day fighting this fight with their mind again and again and again, and they're just handing out this energy, energy, energy. The thoughts are growing, growing, growing. Here comes the feeling. It's a never-ending cycle. Boom, hamster wheel. You're already in it. You have got to break out of that. You have got to start to notice when these thoughts come. And when you're tempted to get involved, you have got to remind yourself as many times as need be, I'm not going to energize that. That is the only way, chat. There's no magical phrase. There's nothing that's going to pull you out of this as soon as I'm missing that magical phrase. I'm missing that secret set of words, right? That doesn't exist. That does not exist. The only way that you're going to give your body a break and start to recover is if you stop energizing those thoughts. If you stop energizing those thoughts. And people say, well, there's got to be more to it. There's not. There's not. Open your ears. If you're hearing me now, and a thought comes to you and you notice your temptation to get involved with that thought, you have to simply remind yourself, I'm not going to energize you. If the thought stays, that's fine, but you're no longer involved, you're no longer participating. And if you need that reminder, I'm not going to energize you a lot at first, then that is fine. Accept the thought, allow the thought, but remind yourself when you're tempted to get involved, I'm not going to energize you. Now, if you just heard me, that is simple enough. I know that you get what I'm saying. It's up to you now. It's up to you now to put in that legwork. There's no excuses here. There's no excuses here. I made that as simple as possible. There's no way you don't understand what I'm saying, right? If you get a negative intrusive thought, you are going to be very tempted to fight with it, to get involved with it mentally, right? You're going to be very tempted. But in order to recover, you have to take a step back when you notice that temptation and remind yourself, I'm not going to energize that. I'm just going to accept that. And that needs to be the end of the story, and you need to repeat that process as many times as needed. Okay, now that's simple, that's straightforward. I know that there's nobody out there that doesn't understand what I just said. It's very simple, it's very straightforward. The difference maker now going forward is you're going to be your willingness to use it. It's going to be your willingness to use it. It's going to be your willingness to put in the work. And nobody can do that for you, but I know you can do it. I know you're capable of it, okay? And I believe in you. All right, chat? So that was my main point of today's stream. You have to stop giving energy to thoughts and feelings. The more you give energy to these thoughts, the more you give energy to these feelings by getting involved mentally, the stronger they are going to become. And this is why you stay stuck in this cycle going in circle after circle. You have to start taking a step back when you feel certain ways and think certain thoughts, any negative thought. And you have to remind yourself when that temptation is there, I'm not going to energize that. All right, guys, and that was the main point of today's stream, but you gotta use it. You gotta use it. I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm being a douchebag, but I'm just being honest with you. If you don't use it, it's not gonna work. Period. Period. Right, guys? You are capable. You are capable, but you gotta get started. You are capable, but you gotta get started. All right. If you've been here on the channel for a while, you know what time it is right here. Don't worry, I can still see the comments. Just live in the now by doing things you enjoy, even if you feel depressed or anything. You got to stay out of that mind game, right? You got to stop energizing that mind game. That's what it comes down to. You have to stop energizing that mind game, because the more thoughts come and the more you give your energy to these thoughts by trying to do something with them, the stronger they become, right? The stronger they become. The stronger they become. You've got to stop passing out your energy. Does it say chat disconnected? What's going on with that? Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, hold on just a second, you guys. Alright guys, I'm going to switch to the BRB screen for just a minute and I will be right back. I got to do something real quick. All right, we are back. Thank you, Nav, for the $20 tip. Keep up the good fight. Hey, man, I appreciate that. Right on time. I appreciate that. Just got back. Let's get that updated. Thank you so much for that, dude. Truly appreciate you. Nav tones. All right, let's get that updated. Thank you for that, buddy. I appreciate you. Let's see. All right. Go ahead and click off that. Sorry about that, guys. Had to run and do something real quick. What's up, Bruce? Welcome to the stream. How you doing, Bruce? Energy, guys. Energy. What do you want to give your energy to today? You giving your energy to these negative thoughts? If you're giving your energy to these negative thoughts, that means you're fighting with them, arguing with them, trying to do something with them, right? Mentally, instead of just noticing, accepting, and reminding yourself, I'm not going to energize that, right? This is the key. This is the key. You're not going to win that fight. You are not going to win that fight. And you probably already realized that by now. There's a good chance that you already realized that by now. How long have you been fighting? I don't know, but there's a good chance that you realize that there's really nothing you can do with that mind. And the more you energize that mind by trying to do something with it, the further down the rabbit hole you fall. And there's a good chance, if you're honest with yourself, you already know that by now. You already know that. How long have you been here, right? How long have you been fighting this fight? Just came in chat. Well, welcome, Bruce. It's good to see you, dude. We got Jesse helping out some people in chat. Awesome. Love to see it. Gotta be honest with yourselves, guys. You gotta be honest with yourself. What are you giving your energy to? What are you fighting with? Because whatever you're fighting with, you're giving energy to, right? And if you want it to leave you alone, it's not gonna leave you alone if you continue to pump energy into it, right? That would just not make any sense. It's not gonna leave you alone if you continue to fuel it. It's not gonna leave you alone if you continue to give energy to it. If you continue to energize it, why would it leave you alone? That just does not make any sense. And I'm here to tell you it's not going to leave you alone the more you continue to energize it, right? And that's why, that can be your reminder moving forward. If you like the way that sounds, when that temptation is there, you got to remind yourself, I'm not energizing that. I'm not energizing that. I am not energizing that. To be honest with you, Chad, I'm not even going to pretend to know what that word means, much less how to pronounce it. But what I will do is grab a little copy and paste of that and Google that real quick. A lack of pleasure and inability to experience pleasure from activities usually found enjoyable. Of course, I can't diagnose you with anything. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I cannot diagnose you with anything. However, I can say that when I was going through my journey, yes, I experienced that. A lack of pleasure, a lack of joy in things that you normally would enjoy. Yeah, absolutely. If you're extremely sensitized, you're going to feel like the joy has just been zapped right out of you. And that's a very, very common feeling with sensitization with severe anxiety. However, if you just listen to this stream, if you just watch this stream, you now know the way out of that. Is the thoughts all automatic? The negative intrusive thoughts, they're completely automatic. It's up to you if you want to do the thinking after that. What do I mean by that? It's up to you if you want to try to fight, argue, or get into a mental conversation with these thoughts. That part's up to you. And if you do indulge in that behavior, right, you are energizing these thoughts. You are energizing these thoughts. In short, what's the channel about? Not today's subject, just wants to hear. What's the channel about? Like my channel in general? We just try to help people. We just try to help people that struggle with, anxiety. I just try to give my opinion, my advice on things. That's it. That's all. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I just talk about my story, where I've been, and what I've experienced with anxiety. I give my opinion on the subject, and then the rest is up to you guys. To be honest, Wonder Bro, I leave them alone even though they are strong, but I had a good day yesterday. Thank you, Wonder Bro, for your streams. You are welcome. What is mental conversation? Isn't it automatic too? No, it may feel automatic, but you have a choice when thoughts come whether you want to jump into a conversation with them or not. So let's say you have a thought, oh, I might go crazy. It's up to you if you take a step back and just say, you know what, I'm not going to energize that. Or if you get involved with it, no, I'm not going to go crazy. Yes, I might go crazy. I'm not going to go crazy because of this reason and because of this reason. And you get into this pissing contest with the mind, right? So it's really up to you in that moment. Do you take a step back and remind yourself, I'm not going to energize that? Or do you get into this pissing contest with the mind, right? And that's really what it comes down to. If you're going to continue to energize these thoughts, then you can start to feel trapped. You can start to feel in this hamster wheel because they just grow and grow and grow when you do that. That's the fuel, right? Like a support group. Okay, I like this much respect. Kind of like a support group, yeah, basically. I mean, I just talk about my experiences with anxiety, what I've been through, and my opinions on things. And then it's up to chat what they want to do with that. If you want to use my advice, if you want to listen to my opinion, completely up to you. But you could call it like a support group, yeah. I could see that. I can see that. I need something to drink, chat. I need something to drink. Let's get some water. Good stuff. Ugh. Oops, typo. Don't worry about it, dude. Don't worry about it. It happens. It happens. I will say this, Sick. It can almost feel automatic for you to get involved because it's such a strong habit, right? I will give you that. So that's where your reminders come into play. It can almost feel automatic because it's such a strong habit. But if you'll increase your awareness and you'll pay more close attention to what's going on behind the scenes, you'll notice that a thought comes and then you make the choice to get involved, right? Your live chats are really a blessing experience as a good teacher, absolutely. And that's why you understand and help so many. I do my best. Sweet Life, thank you so much, dude. Sweet Life, thank you so much. Says thank you so much for your help. I've been watching you a few years now and I've come a long way, but still got some way to go. Thanks for everything you do. Well, I hope today's reminder helps you along. I hope it helps you and convinces you to really buckle down and give this your all, not energizing these thoughts, ending this cycle, right? Hope it helps you. I hope you take it with you. Thanks so much for that. Let's get that updated. Can we give a round of applause in the chat for our tippers today? Thank you guys so much. All right. There we go. Get it updated. Thanks, guys. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for the tip goal. It means a ton to me. You never have to do that, but thank you so much. I'm truly grateful. Thank you. Thank you. a weird nervous feeling, but I never read this symptom. Do you recognize this feeling or have your anxiety periods? So I always feel anxiety in my belly, above my belly button. So the sinking feeling in the stomach, right? Like in the belly, the sinking feeling of fear. Yeah, don't really get into much medication talk, Bruce. It's really not my place. If you want to take medication or do anything about your medication, it's really between you and your doctor. I honestly, I can't really touch on the subject. All I can say is that myself personally, I didn't go that route, but as far as medication goes, that's between you and your doctor. That little shock, that's because the nerves are so sensitized, right? The nerves are so on edge, but this is what's going to get you out of that cycle. No longer energizing these thoughts, no longer giving them your energy by getting involved with them. This is what's going to help the body heal. You have to use it though. You got to put in that legwork. Thanks again, Sweet, and thanks again, Nav, man. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. The mind sends 1,000 useless thoughts your way a day, right? Your way every single day. That's a better way to put that. That sounds a little bit better. It's up to you which ones you want to energize. Don't energize them. You're not going to win in a street fight against your mind. It's going to keep you stressed. It's going to keep you stressed. If the mind wants to say whatever it wants to say about your feelings, that's fine. Don't energize those thoughts. If the mind wants to say whatever it wants to say about your life, that's fine. Don't energize those thoughts. If the mind wants to say whatever it wants to say about what ifs or negative thinking in general, that's fine. Remind yourself time and time again, if need be, I'm not energizing these thoughts. Allow them to be, do not energize. Without your energy, they cannot grow, they cannot thrive, they cannot strive, right? They eventually will die out. They will eventually lose their fuel. I didn't say immediately, I said eventually. You've wired your brain to be a certain way for so long that it does take time, but if you don't energize these thoughts, they will start to lose their fuel, right? They will start to lose their fuel. Now, feelings do come with thoughts, especially if you're sensitized, but if you don't want this thing to grow, you have to stop energizing them. How do you energize them? By getting involved with them, right? By getting involved with them. So you might need your little reminder quite often at first. I'm not going to energize you. Accept, allow, do not energize. Accept, allow, do not energize. For some people, that act in itself is a little uncomfortable because this is new territory. This is new territory. They've never just allowed their thoughts, they've always energized them. So it's new territory. You're you're completely accepting, you're completely allowing. I don't want anyone to think that you're trying to deny or trying to fight your thoughts. No, that's the opposite. You're accepting, you're allowing. If it wants to be there, it wants to be there. I got to burp. Sorry. Uh, if it wants to be there, it wants to be there. Right? That's fine. You're not trying to fight, you're just not getting involved. Do you see the difference? You're not trying to fight or deny or push out. You're just no longer getting involved. There's no longer an input from you. There's no longer you trying to fight this fight that you're not going to win, that's keeping your body stressed. It's what's fueling the thoughts. It's what's giving the thoughts the energy they need to thrive. Hey, I appreciate that, Hank. Thanks, dude. Hey, I'm gonna eat my lunch, guys. All right. And when I'm done eating my lunch, we're probably gonna end this stream. So while I'm snacking over here, you ask your questions and I will answer them. And you have until I'm done with this lunch right here. Ooh, good stuff. Good stuff. You're a legend, mate. Hey, I appreciate you. I'm sorry, guys. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm starving. I've got to eat this. I can't. I can't hold off any longer. Hopefully, my mic is not so sensitive that you can hear me chewing. That's probably really annoying. But mmm, that's good. That's good. What am I eating? I'm eating a ham and cheese. Good stuff. I'm getting hungry now too. Hey, join me, Bruce. Join me. Go get a snack. All right, guys. Send any questions you have. The stream's getting ready to wind down. If you have any questions, this is your chance to ask them. How do you look back at your anxiety journey? Was it difficult? Did it take long before you fully understood acceptance? I feel like I understood acceptance for quite a while, but I wasn't using it. So there's a big difference between understanding it and not using it. That's why I like to say that we always put the advice very simple here, but that doesn't mean necessarily that everybody's using it, right? So I feel like I knew what needed to be done for quite some time, but it did take me a while to dedicate to it. It did take me a while to dedicate to it. All right. What do you think of philosophy and for religion? I really don't open that can of worms here in the channel. I don't want anyone's opinion of the advice to change based on what I believe personally. So I tend to not open that can of worms. Thank you, honestly. You've been a big help. No problem, dude. The sinking feeling. I mean, there's really no other way to describe it, right? Besides sinking feeling. It kind of feels like a roller coaster. If you've ever been on a roller coaster, which I've only ever been on one roller coaster, I did not like it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm afraid of heights. I am afraid of heights. Acceptance, right? I hate heights. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that, or maybe like What's another good way to put it? Like an elevator? You ever been on an elevator and right before it hits the floor that you're going to, it does that little motion, right? And it makes your stomach feel all weird? That's kind of a good way to describe it. It's kind of a good way to describe it. Get weird thoughts about technology. If you experience any sort of uncomfortable, negative, or not even necessarily negative, just uncomfortable or undesirable thought, remember you have a choice to energize that or not. Do you want to energize that? Do you not want to energize that? The choice is really yours, and a lot of times we forget that we have that choice. A lot of times we forget that we have that choice, and that takes away so much of our power. It takes away so much of our power not realizing that we have a choice to energize said thought or to not energize said thought. And as Moji says, if you don't energize a thought, it might go out kicking and screaming, but it will go out eventually if you stop energizing it. So just keep that in mind. So often we forget that we have that choice. So often. Thoughts demand your attention, they demand your focus, but you do have that choice. All right, beautiful people. Oh, I just stuffed myself. So I'm going to get out of here in just a second. Any last questions? There you go, Jesse. There you go. Don't pour your energy into those thoughts, right? Don't pour your energy into those thoughts. If you pour your energy into those thoughts, you're just energizing the thoughts. And that's what keeps this cycle alive. What am I gaming today? I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead. Maybe some forest. What's up, face paint? How you doing today, face paint? What's up, Blake? Hope you're doing good, man. I've been playing Ori. My wife, she is not a gamer, but she's loving it. Nice, nice. Got an audience. Somebody watch you game. It's always fun. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what kind of gaming I'll be doing today. Not really sure. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. We're approaching that hour mark. Thank you guys so much for watching. Just a quick little stream today on about, being more picky about what thoughts you give your energy to. Because ultimately, if you energize a thought or feeling by mentally getting involved, that is what's going to grow. And that's as simple as you can make it. That is as simple and straightforward as you can make it. Whatever you give your energy to, thoughts or feelings, by mentally getting involved, that is what's going to grow. And that is what ultimately is going to keep you in this cycle. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense to you. I try to put it as straightforward and as simple as possible. But if you're here and you're listening to the advice and you're gaining the advice, you need to run with it. You need to start using it. If you want your mind to calm down, if you want your body to calm down, you have got to stop energizing thoughts and feelings, right? With your mental involvement. So, if you're here, if you're listening to this and you're not feeling the best, it's time to get going. All right, you guys, I love you, and I will see you in the next stream and or video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting. and I'll see you next time. Love ya. Stay awesome.